Hello. Do you feel you are under stress? You are not able to focus on your activities? I request you to watch this video. It might be helpful to you. Welcome to your YouTube channel, Coach with Patabi and Live Limitless. This is a channel for leadership development and I'm Patabi Raman, leadership coach. Stress is caused by events in our life involving pressure, constant change, or constant worry. Some amount of stress indeed is good because it helps us to be on our toes. But when it is persistent and long lasting, it impacts our personal and professional life. So, we come to the question, how do we manage stress? As I said, stress is caused by the events in our life, and all these events are registered in our mind and we are able to recall. How does this happen? To understand this, I would like to explain how do we register the events that we encounter in our life. In order to have a long-lasting memory of these events, 3 steps have to happen in our brain. The first step is arousal. The brain has to be aroused towards that event, and this happens when there is an emotional connect. Once there is an arousal, that event enters your mind and it is encoded. The second step is consolidation. The event should be consolidated into a long-lasting memory. The third step being ability to retrieve by decoding. We will see this with 2 examples. I am going to show you 2 pictures. Please have a look. When you saw this picture, did you ever notice that there was a question below the picture? When you saw the snake, your attention was drawn into that snake. Now, we will see the next picture. I am sure most of you would have seen the lion which is almost ready to attack. But how many of you saw the beautiful leaves, the beauty of the picture? Why did we see the snake and the lion first, and it also has got a higher recall value? That is probably because of the emotion of fear being attached to these animals. So, when an event that happens is connecting with you emotionally, that event stays in your mind longer. This is one of the reasons why negative events we tend to remember for a long time. A simple example I would like to give from my life. When I was 10 years of age, while I was running, I fell down and a stone hit my head. There was a deep cut and I was bleeding very badly. I still remember that day. It was in the evening, just after sunset. So my brother and sister rushed me home and my father rushed me to the hospital. I received about 5-6 stitches on my head, and remember those days we never had anesthesia. It was very painful. I still vividly remember the pain, but unfortunately I do not remember the nurse or a doctor who helped me get better. I still don't remember in how many days I was able to recover. But all I remember is the pain because I have a very strong attachment to that emotion of pain. Scientists believe that preserving memories is indeed very valuable because it helps you avoid such future instances, and more importantly, there is a learning out of every event and it helps us be prepared for future events. When you attach emotion to events, they register and they linger in our mind. The more positive emotions we have, like happiness, the more positive and cheerful we are. The more negative emotions like fear that we have, we may end up having stress. How can we change this? Good news is it can be, because our brain can be taught to think. When you feed the brain with more positive emotions and when you start storing more positive events, you become more cheerful. And when you are confronted with negative emotions and you tend to recall a lot of negative events, one thing that you could do is to dispute them. How do you dispute? You may look for evidence or you may look for alternates. For example, I studied bachelor's in chemistry and one of the ancillary papers was mathematics. I really struggled with that and I hardly managed to pass with multiple attempts. Even today, when I think about my graduation, I have this feeling of being scared of mathematics. This is despite the fact that I was able to pass with high first class. What do I do now? I start disputing this fact. Mathematics may not be your cup of tea and it has not affected your life in any way. The second thing what you can do is be thankful and practice gratitude. Be thankful for what you have got. The biggest advantage of expressing gratitude is it tends to focus on what you have. It doesn't focus on what you don't have. Maybe it is a good time for you to start gratitude journaling. That is, spend 5 minutes a day and please write down what are you thankful for in that day. It really works wonders. Would like to end this video with a story. There was a large gated posh community and a lady approached the gatekeeper. She was wondering, such a beautiful place, and she asked the gatekeeper, what kind of people live here? The gatekeeper asked her back, what kind of people do you see in the place where you live? The lady said, I keep seeing people who are selfish and dishonest. The gatekeeper replied, you will see the same people here. A second lady approached the gatekeeper and asked the same question. The gatekeeper asked again that lady, what kind of people do you see in your place? She says, I see people who are very happy and very honest. Smilingly, the gatekeeper says, you will see the same kind of people here. It all depends on how do we see it. What would you like to see and what would you like to remember? You decide. Take care and best wishes.